Jordan for the. So I've given away like about 91, 102 peppermint, and besides just that, I've given away about 50 of my Marvel of Peru uh, flowers, so the neighbors can also garden. You know, the beautiful flowers that are really good for night moths, moth hawks or whatever they're called, big moths, like, you know, the ones as big as my finger. Like, I mean, big moth, nocturnal butterfly. So that's pretty cool to see, you know. I'm tearing my Marvel of Peru's down, but I gave so many of those away. And I also gave away about 30, 30 maybe 50 sunflower seeds, and I gave away about a total of, I think, about 7 or 10 catnip plants. Even some cuttings if somebody wanted it for the kitty cats. Now I'm getting ready to plant about, I don't know, one, two, probably a decent 20, 30 catnip plants I got germinating inside, but I'll be putting down another maybe 40 or so catnips from that if they germinate once the catnips get a little bit more moist and whatnot. I cold stratified them in the freezer, and I also soak them in water and put them in the seeds. They should be good, but it's just, you know, it takes time sometimes. But point is, I've been doing that, and so somewhere probably inside my town, I don't know where, there should be a whole bunch of Marvel of Perus and sunflowers besides my place, not to be confused with the ragweed that looks like a sunflower. And some catnip plants should be growing, probably about 10 randomly. I gave one person I know about 17 peppermint cuttings, and a lady on the Craigslist about 24 peppermint cuttings. And I also gave that person I gave, I think, the other one about three maybe 3 or 5 catnip plants, but you know, one of them was like full grown, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. But I got my 20 or so catnips in the very front of my yard, and 3 at the corner of my driveway, my porch, with my lavender and 2 rose bushes next to my butterfly weed. Now, I'm just kind of curious if I'm ever going to walk around, because I walk my dog all the time, and see any of that catnip or peppermint, because it was so much. It was like, now I have to say, I gave a whole bunch over to a store. There was a lady I knew, not really a store, but a lady I know every now and then. She gives me coffee. I gave her a whole bunch of it. I gave her one of my actual peppermint plants that I keep one now in a pot she gave me. It's nice and blue, but the lady that she talks to, very attractive lady next door, I gave her, heck, 20 cuttings of my peppermint. I just, you know, said, hey, they got roots, they don't got roots, to take them. You know, big deal to me, you know, sweet lady. She give me coffee every now and then and a cigarette, so what the heck? I'm just, you know, gardening, and to me, I gotta clean it up anyway or it look bad. I'm just curious if I'm ever gonna see it from any of the places. But is anyone actually gonna, you know, have that? Tore my tomatoes down. About to line the catnip right there. I'm getting out of the designed look of my apartment. It looks kind of trashy. It's just, you know, that whole, like, I'm finding what my place to look like. I like flowers, I like garden. But the 4 o'clocks, because they open up at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. when people get off work. The Marvel Perus are called that because of the time they open up, because they're nocturnal. But I'm tearing them down and I'm putting the catnip there to give it a nice cold look out of the designed look, that's just kind of trashy. So it's just going to be a row of catnip and maybe some butterfly weed right through the side of the house where the sunflowers are in the marvel of Peru's. And I'm going to let that just kind of happen, be pretty nice to see. I might take one of the seed pods from my butterfly weed up in the front, the orange flowers, and just line them all out through there. They have to be cold stratified, so it won't be till next year or in fall when they start up, but then they don't go down anyways. They just start back up again. Perennials are very pretty, but the catnip will be pretty nice to have, and they need a little bit of water, more than the others. But next year I'm a little bit worried my lupine won't grow, but it might. So right there in the front next to my butterfly weed, you know, very pretty flower. Uh, the rose bushes are going to be solidly getting bigger as the year goes by. School's getting ready to get back in session, and the school bus drives by across from my place every morning when I water my garden. And I said to myself, my butterfly weed is orange and looks beautiful, and the lupine will look nice next year. But why not put down two more rose bushes for the people on the bus to drive by? They'll see the red. Maybe someday they'll go up to be a little bit more classy. I don't know, more classy than me. Heck, I got food from in a Walmart bag and some trash bags right next to my bed, and haven't vacuumed my floor in a few days, weeks really, but still. I'm just curious if I'm going to see any of that, any of those things. I mean, it's a lot of peppermint, a lot of catnip. Excited.